Even while there are exceptions, in our observations it seems like almost every watch enthusiast ultimately gave in to the seductive voice of luxury watch companies. Even if you start your watch collections with less expensive Seikos and Timexes, you'll eventually find yourself yearning for a Rolex or Omega. It's alright, we've all been there. We are aware that looking for expensive watches might be discouraging because they are pricey. They don't have to be though, or at the very least, they aren't as expensive as you may expect. Today's video will discuss the top 10 luxury watches that are more affordable than you might think. But just before we continue, if you're watching this video but you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd like to appreciate it if you do so and turn on the notification bell so you can see more engaging content like this. You know, not all expensive watches cost thousands of dollars, even though the average luxury watch does. Every luxury watch company must have an entry point after all. That is the only watch that is more reasonably priced than any other. And in this guide, we are focusing on those timepieces. We'll look for the least expensive men's watch from many high-end manufacturers. The 10 watches listed below may not all fit your definitions of cheap, but when compared to one another, they are all reasonable. 10. Tag Heuer Formula 1. Following Tag's 1980s accusations of Heuer, the newly created Tag Heuer shook up the modern watch industry with its widely popular quartz-powered Formula 1 timepiece, which helped define the brand in the 1980s and 1990s. Tag still makes the motorsports-inspired Formula 1 a quartz-powered diver-like watch that's perfect for everyday use and serves as a very reasonable entry point to one of the most known names in the luxury watch market, while no longer being the brand that sets trends. Case diameter 41mm, waterproof depth 200m, quartz movement, buying over $1,300. 9. Tudor 1926. As Rolex's younger sibling, Tudor is renowned for selling less expensive versions of some of its more elusive stablemates designs, such as the Black Bay Chrono, GMT Master-inspired Black Bay GMT, and Explorer 2 inspired by Black Bay Pro. But with 1926, Tudor takes a much more unique approach for its most affordable watch. This straightforward three-hander is available in a variety of hues and designs, but all have an automatic movement, attached indices, and a textured dial, all while offering Rolex family membership for less than $2,000. 36mm case, 1000 water resistance, motions automated, buying over $1,800. 8. Grand Seiko SBGX. Grand Seiko, the independently operated premium subsidiary of Seiko, keeps its timepieces upscaled to set itself apart from its entry-level parent. As a result, GS doesn't sell any watches for less than $2,000 in price. The SBGX series from the Japanese watchmaker's heritage line, notably the SBGX 259, SBGX 261, and SBGX 263, is where you'll find the most affordable models. All three watches have a Zaratsu polished casing with classic Grand Seiko style and an in-house HAQ9F mechanism that is accurate to within 10 seconds each year. Case size 37mm, water resistance 100m, movement quartz movement, buying $2,200. 7. Cartier Ronde Must Cartier. Although sports watches from brands like Rolex, Omega, and Breitling tend to get the most attention in this area, Cartier is not to be disregarded. With this 36mm quartz-powered Cartier dress watch, you may join the ranks of the second best-selling Swiss watch brand behind Rolex, the Dress Watch King. And while we'd appreciate your decisions if you choose this path, it's important to note that the Cartier Tank Bus, which costs an additional $120, offers a quartz-powered version of the real watch icon. Case size 36mm, water resistance 30m, movement quartz movement, buying $2,810. 6. Breitling Endurance Pro. Affordable luxury timepieces tend to have quartz movements, but you can rest easy knowing that the battery-operated motor in this Breitling is anything but simple. The huge and boisterous Super Quartz movement, which is COSC certified and thermo-compensated, and the exclusive Breitling case, which is 3.3 times lighter than titanium and extremely resistant to scratches and corrosion, are both built to operate in challenging circumstances. Case diameter 44mm, waterproof depth 100m, movement quartz chronograph, buying over $3,300. 5. Omega de Fil Prestige Coaxial Chronometer. You're out of luck if you had your heart set on a Seamaster or chronograph movement, and we're hoping to find one here. But before you put your money away, keep in mind that Omega still provides excellent value at this price. This elegant member of Omega's long-running de Fil dress watch series houses an in-house coaxial chronometer automatic movement, which is perhaps the most prestigious and fascinating movement for the money. The indices and heads have all been heat-blued as well. Case size 39.5mm, water resistance 30m, motions automated. 4. IWC Pilot's Watch Automatic 36. IWC's renowned Pilot's watches in the Flieger design are probably the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the company. you may purchase one for less money than everything else in the Schaffhausen brand's catalog. Believe it or not, although it's not the fabled big palette, this mid-side IWC Palace watch delivers just as much beauty and distinctions as its larger siblings thanks to its eye-catching sunray blue dial and traditional Type A configurations. Case 60mm size. Watch resistance 36mm. Motions automated. Buying $4,250. 3. Panerai Radiomir base logo. Panerai is unbeatable if you're searching for a watch with a lot of wrist presence. Despite the Italian brand's reputations for being expensive and exclusive, you don't necessarily have to spend a fortune to purchase it. The base logo, the most basic model in Panerai's retro-inspired Radiomir collection, nonetheless features traditional style cues from the brand, like a matte black dial, brilliant lume on the hands and indexes, and a 45mm polished stainless steel case. Case size 45mm, 100-meter water resistance. Action, hand wind, buying $4,500. 2. Rolex Oyster Perpetual 34. The Oyster Perpetual is Rolex's entry-level timepiece, with an Oyster case, an Oyster bracelet, and a perpetual no-date movement. Is the crown reduced to its basic minimum? The least expensive method to purchase a Rolex is to choose the 34mm model, which comes in a variety of colors and sizes, including 36mm and 41mm versions for men. Although Rolex advertises it as a women's watch, the Oyster casing will cause it to fit slightly larger than expected because 34mm is traditionally considered to be a unisex size. Case size 34mm. Water resistance 100-meter. Motions automated. Buying $5,500. 1. Zenith Elite Classic. The El Primero movement, one of the earliest automated chronographs with over 50 years of history, is well known for Zenith. While Zenith's El Primero powered pieces are somewhat expensive, you can start with this enthusiast favorite brand for less by looking at their Elite series. The radial sunray dial on this stunning dress watch is one of the most eye-catching ones you'll find at this price. And it still has an in-house automated movement with a 50-hour power reserve. Case dimensions 40.5mm. Waterproof depth 50-meter. Motions automated. Buying over $6,000. Luxury timepieces may be amazing, but their price tag isn't that great. The majority of people do not have thousands of dollars available to spend on wristwatches, but it doesn't mean you have to accept an unattractive watch. You'd be surprised at how stylish some inexpensive timepieces can be. Even while it may appear like the future of accessible watchmaking is dismal, we're not done yet. You may still discover outstanding examples of the best in the world for less money than you might think if you look at the correct areas. You'll quickly discover that things are looking nice after all if your enthusiasm for timepieces is about more than just brand and prestige. Thank you for sticking with us through the end of the video. Please share your favorite luxury watch that is less costly in the comments below. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the following video.